I'm going to share one of the biggest secrets that I know that I discovered personally back in the last crash in 2006 fourth quarter, which is called OPM, other people's mortgages or other people's money. And what I'm going to share with you, it will shock you because it's not the traditional path. It's not what the majority of the herd does. Okay. And if you speak to an average real estate agent or an average broker or an average attorney, they'll probably tell you that this doesn't work. And the reason is they never pursued it, they haven't done their own due diligence, and they don't know. And I'm not giving legal advice, this is just my opinions. But the strategy that I share with you is real. It's on a HUD 1. And I've done videos about where I've shown you where it is on HUD 1. And it's called OPM. Now, this strategy can be used to buy what I did back in 2006, fourth quarter, my own first home, my own first homestead, okay, which then opened the door for me to buying the same strategy, OPM, for my passive income to build wealth for myself as an immigrant in America without dealing with banks. So today I'm going to show you how to buy pretty homes with zero down and no credit checks. I know it's hard to believe because majority of people are um, conditioned to believe that you can't be your dreams with no money in America. That you know you're going to need the bankers. You need some type of a credit score, and those are 100% true if you're going to follow the herd. But most great companies, most great ideas come out of creativity and imagination and some difficulties versus capital or versus a credit score, ability of someone, raising funds. And today's secret is going to be how to buy pretty homes with zero down and no credit checks. And now some of you will ask, well, Mike, how can I buy a house with no money down? Or how can I get a house without a credit check? And I'm going to explain to you OPM, other people's mortgages. In 2020 and going forward, Big Brother has created an environment where there are a massive amount of motivated sellers. If it's rural land you're looking for, if it's farming land, well, guess what? With the sanctions going on, farmers are filing bankruptcies at records level high. If you're looking to, create yourself a first time home, well, guess what? There's millions and millions of people unemployed today. Millions and millions of people, over 41 million people as I'm making this video, are unemployed. There's millions of people that can't make their car payments or RV payments and so on. Millions of people that can't make their house payments. So the secret of the sauce of OPM is motivated sellers. Motivated sellers. Now, what is a motivated seller? Because I have to define this to move forward. But before I do, I want to explain to you guys that if you need help with any of the stuff that I'm teaching here, then you should definitely go and join my academy, where you get access to our private Facebook group where I'm on there live and I answer questions. You also get monthly coaching, plus you get access to $22,000 of advanced real estate courses for just $47 a month. And this is a flash sale, so act fast, quantities are limited. Okay. Now, going back to the story, if you need help, make sure you join us at academy.mrnofluff.com or just go to myrealestatedojo.com. Okay. Now, what is a motivated seller and why is that the secret sauce to buying pretty homes with zero down and no credit checks? Well, motivated sellers are going to, what they did for me in the last crash was they financed the deal for me. For example, the seller became my private bank. Therefore, I didn't have to go get a loan from a traditional lender or mortgage company, nor did I have to run a credit check because the private seller decided that they're going to be my private bank. In other words, they allowed me to just step into their shoes and make their monthly payments for them. Simply put, I'm just very making it very, very simple to digest, to understand. Now, why would a seller allow me to just step into their shoes because and make their payments? Because I didn't believe that thing was possible, because everyone that I talked to, they told me how to get a loan, and they said this is not possible, from agents again to brokers, because my parents are refugees to America. They didn't know about anything about real estate, so I couldn't ask them. And everyone else that I asked told me, no, this is the traditional path. But back in 2006, I had my money right. I had my credit right. My business credit was amazing, excellent. We never borrowed any money, and we're trying to get money to invest, but they were not lending because it was a massive credit crunch because of mortgage-backed securities that were melting down because of subprime lending, which is exactly what's happening today, but at a different tune. Okay, um, so I created OPM, other people's mortgages, and the secret sauce is motivated sellers, motivated sellers. Now let's define what a motivated seller is. Now that you know the secret sauce, it's someone that must sell their home. They're not testing out the waters. They are not, just um, I was going to say not trying to get the top dollars for their home, but everyone is trying to get top dollars. But a motivated seller eventually will give in that they can't get top dollars, or there's no other solutions, and they're going to let the bank take it. And what I do is I catch these sellers before they're willing to just let the bank take it, and tell them the pros of becoming my private bank, where I save their credit, I make their monthly payments, I give them debt relief, and I help them move to the next chapter of their life. And I also explain that the cons of this on the other side is, hey, that debt's going to stick onto under your neck. Not only do I tell them that multiple times, it's in the paperwork that you get access to when you join the academy, or profit sharing, and so on. So that said, they fully understand that the debt stays in place. I just start making their monthly payments. They're going to be with my private bank, and they know that they're on the hook on the debt. But this is what I call, and they understand, this is their best worst option. This is not their best option, because the best option is to sell it with a real estate agent. But in today's market, where we have 40, and I'm going to say we're going to get to like 60 million people unemployed or underemployed or fired, well, these people can't make their mortgages. And when they try to come sell it on the market, everyone's coming right now together to start listing their homes, and they're going to flood the market with inventories. You have home builders are motivated. You have Airbnb superhosts are motivated. You have the average landlord, because 50% of Americans that are landlords are small mom and pops. They're motivated because their renters have been paid. So you're going to have a vast pool of inventory, which then, added on the credit crunch, where not that many people can borrow money, is going to drive the prices of homes down, right? And these home sellers, they're now lost their job. They're motivated, not going to be able to sell, or if they're able to sell, they're going to have to come up to closing with significant amount of money. Because when they bought their home, the market was going up and up and up and up. So you could buy, wait 6 months or a year, and your property had appreciated 10, 15%. Well, the market's not doing that anymore, and it shifted from being a seller's market to a buyer's market, but the sellers just don't know about it yet, because they're still thinking it's the seller's market. And this is where the price discovery is happening, because no deals are getting done. And then once people start lowering their price and the house gets sold, the CMA, or the fair market value, will start trickling down, and you'll see the starting of the avalanche of price cuts. Okay, now, when you add all those ingredients that I added onto you, there's going to be millions and millions of people that are in the millions and millions of people that don't have jobs, that are not going to be able to have $40,000 in their 401ks or in their pensions, because those things have gone wiped out as well, and they're not going to be able to come out and uh, sell their property. And so what happens is, these millions of Americans, great Americans, firefighters, teachers, and so on, and all kinds of other people, are going to have this three types of equations. They're going to have marginal equities, or they're going to have no equity, or they're going to have negative equity. And these types of sellers are going to be highly, highly motivated, because they can't make the payments anymore. and their house is upside down or very close to upside down, they're not going to be able to price their house low enough to sell it and be competitive in a market versus other people that have more equity. And this is a strategy that works really, really great OPM with these types of sellers, where the sellers have marginal equity or no equity or negative equity. Now, some people ask me, well, Mike, why would you want to buy a property that has negative equity or marginal equity or zero equity? And that's a really, really good question, guys. Okay. Um, the first thing is that we have to understand that real estate has two amazing properties to it. Okay. The first one is that real estate, for example, it can be worth $100. Just to simplify it, I can buy this property for $50, so 50% off. Unlike stocks, if the stock is worth $100, I gotta buy it. So that's one of the qualities of real estate, that you can buy it below the fair market value. Okay, so in a situation where if I buy a house that has zero equity, then I'm not getting the benefit of the first property, which is I can buy it below market value. If I buy a house that has marginal equity, let's say 10%, 15%, then again, I'm not really buying the equity, so I'm not getting that value of that property of real estate. Okay, or if I buy it has negative equity, let's say 10,000 or 20,000 or 10% or 15%, I'm not buying, actually buying a liability when it comes in the equity aspect. But then real estate also has a secondary property, which is called the cash flow. Okay, if you're a buy and hold guy, or if you're going to turn into if you're going to be yourself a bank and turn around and owner finance this house to a retail buyer that can get a loan but that has the down payment, or if you're going to be like, say, a short-term lease or a long-term lease or etc., then real estate also has another property, which is the passive income that it produces. So in a property, let's say that these sellers are highly motivated and they have zero marginal or no equity, their property, or more than likely, are going to positive cash flow significantly because the interest rates are so freaking low in today's era, because we have ultra low interest rate, guys. Ultra low interest rate. Hey guys, jab that like button if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, and share this message, because this is the secrets that people charge you thousands of dollars for, and I'm giving it to you for free. Okay. Now, going back to the story, real estate has two properties. You have the equity and you have the cash flow. And with interest rates being at ultra low in the history of America, just the other day, I've seen one of the biggest lenders, mortgage brokers, have a 30-year fixed rate for 2.5%. 2.5%, guys. Unbelievable. Okay. Um, which eventually followed with Wells Fargo and other people coming under 3%. Okay. And if you look at how much money is being printed, by definition, the price of rents are going to go up, right? And interest is all time low. And now, if the price of rents don't go up or even go down, like some people suggest, the rents are so high compared to what the interest ultra low interest rate is the property is going to cash flow. Now, not every property is going to cash flow, but the ones that are going to cash flow, they're going to cash flow a lot more than they did back in 2006, 2007, 2008. When I got into the business of real estate investing, I've been an entrepreneur since high school, never had a job, never worked for the man. But when I got into the real estate business, interests were like 6 to 10%. I took over mortgages that had 10% interest rates, guys. Okay, I took over mortgages and I had 6% interest rate, and I made them all cash flow. So those properties cash flowed. Imagine what it's going to be like with 2 or 3% interest rate. Okay, so real estate has two properties: equity and cash flow. Now, the best thing for me is, as an investor, is to buy it good when I buy it. Will have massive cash flow, and I'll also get massive. I mean, I buy massive equity, and I also get massive cash flow. But in an era like this, not that many people have equity. However, they have properties that have massive cash flow compared to the rental markets. Not all areas, but many areas in America, because interest is so low and they're printing so much money and so on and so on. That th- that investment becomes lucrative for me because A, I don't have to put no money down as a down payment, nor do I have to get my credit checked, which then I can negotiate a non-recourse loan that I'm not going to get in here. But if you want to know more, go to mrnofluff.com, download my free book. I tell it in there. go to my free training or joining my academy or my profit sharing coachings. Okay. Also, the debt is not under my name. Also, I don't have to pay all the junk fees of closing costs. Also, in an amortization period, the majority of the first few years of making payments are going totally towards interest. And if the seller's been living on the property for 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, now whenever I take it over, become the new owner, and I'm paying off that existing loan because I did OPM, then I'm paying less towards interest and more towards principal because that seller paid all that. So it's a really great win-win for me as an investor, and it's also a really great win-win for the seller because they don't get to have a foreclosure, nor do they have to come up 40,000 or 30,000 or whatever it is to closing because the house owner now has negative equity or marginal equity or zero equity. Okay, so this is why it makes it lucrative for me to buy a property that has marginal equity, zero equity, or negative equity. If it cash flows $1,000 a month, if it cash flows $700 a month, then I absolutely would buy that. Now, in an ideal world, I would want to buy it at a deep discount, 50% on the dollar, plus get the massive cash flow. But here's one of the advantages of buying OPM is that in the ideal world, I would have to come up with the whole amount of purchasing power to purchasing money to buy that property. So if the property was 200,000 and I was going to buy it at 50 cents on the dollar, I would have to come up with $100,000 cash in the briefcase, right? Where in this situation, I don't have to use any of my cash, a very, very, very small amount of my cash, okay, to get the deal. So it makes it real lucrative because I don't have to use all my cash. I don't have to pay down payment. I don't have to run my credit card. I have a non-recourse loan. Uh, the amortization is now in my favor versus the bank's favor, and so on. I'm getting massive cash flow. So there are many advantages of buying OPM, and I'm not giving financial advice. So talk to your attorney, CPA, whatever you do. But these are just my opinions and what I do, what I have done. Okay. So, and I called it back in 2016 that Subject to Heaven or OPM Heaven is here, and we can see it today. Just like I predicted, I nailed it on the head, just like I nailed gold, guys. I said gold was the play back in 2016, and everyone and their mama was laughing at me. And now we're seeing where gold is and what the stock market has done and where it's going to go, guys. Because the key is even more bleeding is going to come, more massacre is going to come, and we're going to see more motivated sellers. I mean, just that's the end of it. I mean, you got to be honest with yourself that all this producing, all this tariffing, uh, all this printing of money, not producing, we don't produce shit, we print money. It's not going to take us anywhere. It's robbing our kids, and there's going to be a massive amount of motivated sellers. And what I teach my subscribers is how to empower yourself while helping the community because the banks are going to get the property so you can help another neighbor for not for the banks to get it, not to have a bad credit for 7 to 10 years, not to have a deficiency from the IRS because the banks, whatever they can collect, they're going to write it off as a 1099 as an income to that borrower. So they're going to be, in multiple black eyes, right? Maybe you have to file bankruptcy, okay? So OPM is real. OPM is on the HUD one, right? If you want to know what line it is, go to my YouTube channel. My very first video shows it to you on a HUD one. Now I'm not giving you financial advice or legal advice, but these are just my opinions and my experiences that I've done. Um, doesn't matter what state you're in. There's motivated sellers, and this is the era of motivated sellers where they can become an investors or even an average homeowner, private bank without down payments without credit. Now, some people said, Mike, does it mean that I don't need no money to buy a house? No, you're gonna need money, okay? And you may not have to pay a down payment, and now you may not have to. You don't have to pay a down payment and or credit. However, you will need money for the closing costs, right? Because if you're buying from a seller, because there's two types of sellers out there, okay? There's two type of motivated sellers out there. You have what's called emotional, and you have what's called financial. A financial motivated seller is broke. So, and if you meet a financial motivated seller, then you got to pay their closing costs. So you're going to need some kind of money. If they're on that forbearance program, they're behind 1 month or 2 month or 3 month. Then that money needs to be made. Now, well, you don't need a down payment. Well, you'll have to have some money because real estate will require money. Now, there's a lot of people tell you that real estate doesn't require money, and they're lying to you. Now, there are different division of real estate that doesn't require money, like wholesaling. Wholesaling doesn't require money, maybe like a few $100 just to do marketing. But if you're going to be a buy and hold investor, you're going to hold a hard asset that has plumbing, electricity, renters, people, emotions. You're going to deal with evictions. You're going to deal with the headaches. So you're going to need money. But you're not going to need as much money as going traditionally, what the whole thing is about. For example, as an investor, traditionally, they got to put 20% down if they can get a loan from the bank to buy a rental property, right? Where here, no money down is required. Maybe the closing costs, and maybe the seller has a forbearance program and they're behind, right? Maybe they're behind 2 or 3 months, and you pay with the closing costs. You may only have to come up 3% versus 20%. So it's a whole lot less money if you're financing it. It's a whole lot less money if you're having all the money to purchase it, but it still requires money to get in the game of holding the asset of real estate because it's a moving piece and it will need lubrication. The bearings need to be changed here and there. So, guys, if you have any questions, comment, leave it below. I'd be happy to answer for you. Now, the other type of motivated sellers are what I call emotional motivated, because we have financial motivated and we have emotional motivated. Emotional motivated ones are the ones that I love because, you know, they don't want the property because they have emotional. Maybe their parents died, maybe they're going through a divorce, but it doesn't mean that their pockets are hurting. And those sellers are where, you know, because there's three ways to structure deals. So hold that thought with the emotionally motivated sellers, because there's three ways to structure deals, and I want to talk to you about it so you guys understand. The very first way is that you have the seller, or I have the seller bring me money to the closing. For example, I meet a motivated seller, they're emotionally motivated. So instead of me paying for their closing, I have them pay for the closing. Instead of me paying all their monthly payments, this is $1,000 a month, I have them subsidize some of that monthly payment because it's really their debt and they have negative equity or 0% equity or marginal equity. So I have them subsidize that monthly payment. So if it's $1,000, I pay 700, you pay three. That way I can get a higher cash flow on the rental, right? Or I have them give me 5 grand or 10 grand to do this deal because I'm buying a negative equity, right? So if they have to pay 30 grand in closing costs, get negative equity or marginal equity, then hey, give me five of that, give me seven of that, and then when I'm going to do that, I'm going to use that to pay your debt throughout the months, but throughout the year, month, or whatever, or do improvements in the home or whatever the story may be. Okay, but usually I'll just pay off their debt, and so I don't have to come up with the first 6, 7 month of rent or 3 month or whatever I negotiate. Okay. Now, that's emotional, but that strategy is not going to work with financially motivated sellers, because someone's financially motivated, they may want to pay the monthly payment, but they can't. They're broke. They don't have a job, right? So it's very important to identify, are they emotionally motivated, are they financially motivated, and negotiate accordingly. Because if they're financially motivated, well, I want them to pay the closing. They want to pay it too. The deal's never going to get done. And if I really want this property and it's spitting $1,000 positive cash flow, and I got to come up with 3 grand. Is it worth it for me? Right? And that's I'll do the numbers, and of course it's worth it for me because it's giving me $1,000 positive. I come up with 3 grand in 3 or 4 months. I will have my original capital back. I still have this asset that's producing $1,000 a month. I still get all the depreciation, the tax deductions, the interest write-offs, and so on. Plus, the debtors are paying this debt off, which is a forced saving. Plus, I'm bought in a pretty area that's appreciating, and the home values are going to be coming up when the market turns around. Okay, because if you didn't know, this is America. This is the best country ever, guys. Okay, yes, the dollar is going to collapse, but again, this is where it's at. Okay, in my opinion. Now, when I first got into this business, I was forced to buy OPM because the banks were not lending. Again, I had great credit, I had cash in the bank, a lot of cash in the bank, and I wanted to buy a lot of properties because as an immigrant, as a refugee, I knew this was the best time to get into real estate. Not when the prices are going up, but when there's massive blood in the streets, prices are coming down. But I went to bank after bank. I had my business uh, financial statements 4 or 5 years stapled up. I had my tax returns. I had bank statements of what I have in the bank now, what my business has. Dude, I went to so many different places, mortgage brokers, and they all turned me down. not because I wasn't a worthy borrower, because they were just losing so much money. You guys, I mean, the whole market had freezed, and they were not lending. Okay, they were pulling back on credit card lending, kind of like what's happening now. So I was forced to figure a different way to buy real estate because no bank was lending, and it really was a blessing for me because I hated banks, but I wanted to buy more because I knew this was the opportunity. If I went in my own way, I might have just bought a couple of houses cash, but I wanted to buy more. So I knew this is the best way to do it, to leverage, because that's what I was trained to learn. And I was blessed that the banks didn't do it, which I learned the other way, OPM. That's what I'm sharing with you because it's not the traditional way, and it's the biggest secret ever that if you live in America, if you live in many other countries too, if they have central bankers, that there are motivated sellers that have over leverage, which many people do in America, from federal government, state corporations to individuals, and they can't make the minimum payments anymore. And the bank's going to take it over, and they're going to shatter their credit, and they're not going to be able to rent or buy. And this is a great opportunity for investors that want to go create win-win. Now, is there a risk associated with OPM? Absolutely. Okay, let's go into some of the risks. Guys, click the like button, please, and share this message because it's so crucial and no one really talks about it. And I do here at this channel to help you guys have abundance, no matter if the market is up, sideways, down, without banks, without credit cards, because America is a great country. If you didn't know, guys, millions of people would love to be in your shoes. Okay, you have any questions, comment, leave it below, and I'll get with it in 1 second. Let's see if we have any questions. All right, someone asked, hey, how can I get more information about what I'm talking about? Okay, go to mrnofluff.com, join my academy. That's exactly your first stepping stone, guys. $47 a month, you get three things. You get monthly coaching, which will answer your questions, and I send you new educational stuff that's hot, that's working in today's market, right? Um, I'm one of the very few people that talked about gold back in 2016. I said gold was the play. No, everyone was laughing at me when it was going down. I'm the one that told you guys that real estate was going to pop and the market's going to pop back in 2016. Everyone's laughed at me, and everything has happened, and we're going to see the second leg happening very, 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 very soon, guys. Okay, in my opinion, not financial advice. Now, someone asked me, well, how can they learn about OPM? How can they learn about subject to? How can they get into this business? How can they start learning about wholesaling? Well, the academy. The academy, I'll give you my best-selling advanced courses. There's that private Facebook group that I'm actively there. You can ask your questions. I help you out. Okay, out of goodness of my heart because I want you to win. Okay. I want us to win because corporate America is getting too big to fail companies. I need you to be your dreams. The more everyone's their dream, the more waker and more freedom we'll have in America because, if you don't have sound money, how can you have a sound life, right? So that said, join the academy. You get everything you need to get started to do your first deal. If you want to learn about OPM, you want to learn about subject to, you want to learn about RAF, lease option, you want to learn about wholesaling, fix and flips, landlording, Airbnb, all that stuff. The academy, I show you exactly how to do it. I have the blueprint. You can go learn all online, right, and try to put it together, which may take months and years. And end of the day, you may spend a lot of money and time, or you can follow a proven system, guys. Okay, that I've created myself back in 2006. Okay, so the academy. If you need more help, you have a successful business. For example, you have a construction business, a moving company. You have a successful business. You're ready to hit the street. You're ready to buy properties now. You're ready to get the subject tos now. You don't want to. You don't have the time to just search online, or you don't want to because you want to get results now. You're a believer. Then join my academy. It's not for everyone. You got to have 3K, 1 month of coaching. After that is $119 a month, guys. Okay, if you want to stick around. If you don't want to, no big deal. You learn in that 1 month. You get to shadow me. On top of that, I'll give you all your business tools to have your next business, which is the real estate business. Okay, real estate investing business. I give you every tool you need for your real estate investing business. Most tools that you need, from websites to paperwork to marketing, how to do it, where to do it, the marketing assets. There's so many I can't even get into it. 3K, 1 month of coaching. It's not for people that don't have money. It's not for that. Okay, if you just lost your job, it's not for that. Okay, you have a successful business or you have money ready to invest. You're ready to buy houses, rental properties, whatever, and you don't want to go get a loan. You don't want to go to the auction and compete with everyone else. You don't want to buy houses from wholesalers because you're tired of paying 25 grand, 15 grand to wholesalers and they're eating a lot of the meat on their table. Then let me show you how to generate these leads for free or almost for free, because that's what I've been doing since high school, and I'm 42 years old now. Okay, let me show you how to find these sellers for free. Let me show you how to use automation. Let me show you how to learn these strategies that I've developed. Let me help you put it all together in my academy or my profit sharing, guys. And if you're interested in learning how to wholesale deals, getting deals all over the phone, then I highly recommend going to mrnofluff.com and downloading my virtual wholesaling class where I teach you and let you listen live to live calls with home sellers where we're negotiating OPM, or we're negotiating subject choose, where we're negotiating wholesaling deals, where we're negotiating 50, 60 cents on a dollar deal live. You get to listen to it, okay? You get to listen to my students ask all types of questions and me helping them structure deals to start their business. You get hours and hours, almost like I can't even remember, 7 or 8 hours of live training. You get to all that stuff right now for $297 versus $1,000. It's life changing. Go to Mr. No Fluff, download it, or join the academy, or join profit sharing if you're ready to do deals, guys. If you're ready to do deals now. Now, if you don't got no money, then if you lost your job, I totally understand that. That's why I was warning everyone back in 2016. But I created a solution for you. If you lost your job, you don't have money, listen, download the new Flip. I'm having so many people have success with it, guys. So many people. Okay. All you need is $100 capital. That's it. I show you how to start your own freaking business where you can make thousands and thousands of dollars a month with no freaking skills, no credit card, no debt, no infrastructure, no building, no nothing. All you need is a computer and internet. That's it. And this course, okay? You could How fast can you make money? As soon as you finish it. As soon as you fucking finish it and apply it. Now, if you don't put action to it, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Listen to me. If you don't put action, it's not gonna work. But if you do put action to it, it's so simple that I'm gonna let my kid do it as soon as she becomes a teen. As soon as she can talk to people and earn her own money instead of giving her chores to do. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, but here's the important part of it. It's simple because it's very complex, and I made it simple so you can make money today. Okay, how much can you make? You put $100 in, you can get 700% return. You can get 200% return. You get 300. Depends on the deal. How fast can you do it? I've done it anywhere from hours, few hours. If I put $100 and I make 700 bucks in a few hours, and also, you can make it up to like 7 days, 14 days. Depends on you. And I have students from California all the way down to UK, guys, that they have applied all this stuff, and it's been working for them. To get more information about the new Flip, go to mrnofluff.com. We're having it for sale, 147, guys. You get the manual, you get the video training, and you also get the book. It's just a copy and paste job. You just follow the instructions, and there's a really, really, really good probability you're going to make money. Can you lose your $100? Yes, you can lose your $100, guys. Absolutely. I can't shield that. That's what entrepreneurship is. It teaches you about entrepreneurship. But here's a great thing: you can lose just $100. I know people that have been entrepreneurs recently. They borrowed 200, 300 to start a coffee business, to start a restaurant, to start a construction business, and they're belly up. They're indebted still $200,000 or $300,000. Okay, or hard fix and flippers that try to buy houses and flip them, and they got caught with the hard money lenders. Right, they're in debt at hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, so see, the risk and the reward, too much risk, very little reward. This, the risk is only $100, very little. Then the reward is 700%. That's the max I've done. 400%, 300%, 500% all day long. Not only me, my students have done it too. And you can do it in your backyard. And the reason I created a new Flip is to make money today so you can change your confidence, you can stack your cheese up, right? And then the ability to realize how great America is, because we live in a world that there's too many thinking going on. Everyone's thinking, thinking, thinking. We don't take freaking action. We think that everything has to be so fucking complex. And I show you how you can make money with $100 like this to change your thinking. So you stop thinking and taking more action. Because if I could help you take $100, turn it into $700, you're going to be a believer. You're going to go out there and do the same thing over and over. Before you know, you may have 10 grand or 100 grand stacked up, right? Then the next venture you go to Or you continue doing this venture. That's the great thing. You continue hire virtual assistants from third world countries, pay them $120 a month, which I show you how to do it. I've been outsourcing since 1999, 2000. I show you how to do it in my course, VA course. You can get it right now for $297 versus the $1,500 that I sell it for. Where I show you how to find people, where, how much to pay them, the manuals, the courses, everything you need, the contracts, the ads, everything for pennies. You could get the VA to do that for you, and you still have that business running while you go and do a new venture. It might be real estate, it might be a landlord. So now you have two things going for you, two passive incomes. And that's the great thing about America that most people don't realize. Okay. Once you have something that'll work, you can scale it. And I'm basically giving it away for you guys because in my own local area, I've sold this course so much that I've created competition for myself. And if I was a greedy guy, I wouldn't do it, right? But it works. It's amazing. I have students everywhere that have tried it. Be the next success stories, and I want to hear from you. Anyone that have used it and have made money, I like to show. Now, there's a lot of people that have used it and they don't want to get on TV or YouTube, and that's real. So if you see us having 2 reviews, there's been 30 people that have used it. Only 2 people are willing to give us reviews, okay? Because that's how life is, right? All right. So if you need money now, you need a side hustle. You need to have an investment fund pool that's not your job or whatever, then download a new flip. It's freaking easy. It's possible. There's risk associated with it, just like real estate. So the business will teach you real estate without the complexity of real estate. I hope you make money today. It's called the new flip. It's revolutionary. You only need $100 to start. Okay. So good question, guys. All right. Do you have any materials on how to books or video? Thank you. What's the name of that course? All right. Yeah, Carolina. Do I have any courses? Yes, if you go to mrnofluff.com, we have tons of courses if you click on shop. But what I would recommend right now, I don't know your situation, but if you're in a tight situation, you don't have money right now, the new flip is hot, guys. It freaking works. This is the best market for it. Uh, and you can make money like this, okay, fast. Do you have to put work in? Yes, but it's so little work unlike a job. Okay, but if you already have your money straight, you're just trying to get into the business, you're new, then you may consider joining my academy. Go to academy.mrnofluff.com. I give you all my best-selling courses, all my advanced courses that other people don't have. I give it to you, plus monthly coaching, plus a Facebook group that I'm active in it personally for just freaking $47 a month, guys. This revolution. And the reason I have it is just to meet you and shake your hand and really try to help you be your dreams, whatever that is. Okay, because $47 is all the money the Fed is spreading doesn't even pay for a family afford lunch, eating at a healthy place, or even a shitty place, guys. Okay, so to be real with you, but I want to help you guys because I want to put that karma out there. The more people I help, the more help I'm gonna get. Sorry, guys, we had a phone call come in. All right, here we go. So I wanted that karma to come back, and the best way to do that is to give you, and that's why I've been feeding the homeless forever is because I understand that what I put out comes back, and I want to help you be your dreams. The $47 is to filter out the deadbeats. So if you're a deadbeat, please don't join, dude. Okay, but if you're ready to be your dreams, the Academy, $47. If you need more help, profit sharing, 3K. It's better if you have a successful business or you have money saved up before you join the profit sharing because it's not for everyone. Uh, but it's the hottest thing on the internet and it gives you the most value. Okay, uh, because it uses imagination, creativity, things that I created myself, not taken from other people. Okay. The other thing is, if you're broke, the new flip, mrnofluff.com, they're all there, and it helps you be your dreams. If you're looking to buy your first time home, then consider hiring me in the profit sharing. I can help you how to find these sellers, how to structure these sellers to get your homestead using the strategy that I just provided to you. If you're an investor and you're maxed out, you can't get no more properties, consider joining the profit sharing to help you. Or if you're tired of buying from wholesalers, consider joining the profit sharing. If you want to get into landlording without borrowing money from banks or without credit card or without hard money, consider getting into the profit sharing if you're ready to take action. If you just want to learn right now, the Academy is the best place to go. Thanks so much. Click the like button. Don't take no for an answer. Remember, you're so powerful. You can be your dreams. You live in the best country ever. You just got to take action, guys. Okay? Peace.